All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Land of the Lustrous, Episode 6. Okay, we're about halfway through now.
Phos is back.
After this episode, Phos is back. Phos is fixed. Phos has candy cane legs.
Yep,
Spiral legs, if you will.
Spiral power indeed.
Indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
And all the rest of the gems were, before Phos came back, very busy trying to rescue Phos, going into the ocean and all that.
Yeah. Ventricosis and Achiliotis had a very interesting interaction with Phos.
Yes.
We found out a little bit more about the whole dynamic between,
the three peoples.
Yeah, exactly. The Lunarians and how, I would say, different they are in a lot of ways. Right. Like there's certain things about the individuality and the will, I would say, of the flesh and the bone, the admirabilis and the gems sharing certain similarities that the Lunarians just do not have.
Right. So and the way they talked about them makes it seem like we'll be getting more from the Lunarians, like a more up close view potentially in the near future.
Yeah, I would say at the very least within the confines of this season, this show. So anything else other than, I would say, finding out what exactly will be the new traits and or features of Phos's legs?
I don't think Phos's legs will have any impact on their bubbly personality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm looking forward to seeing that continue.
All right. Well, Phos, here we go. Back to you. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into this. All right, everyone. We're going to start the episode in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, now. Zigi wani tadayota sa sono iro kisa kiwo surete. Of all the OPs of all the shows we're reacting to, this one has that like beautifully unique aspect to it where just the tempo of it is so like, I don't know how to describe it.
Well, the opening is very melancholic.
Yeah.
And yet the show doesn't have that feeling. So,
well, there is all this aspect of memories and things lost and how humanity has been sundered and split into corresponding parts, and
and actually
all these parts are missing something of themselves, and
the melancholic feeling is there with Shinobar, and
yes, that's true.
And that's Shinobar where that whole like aspect of the
comes
show
from.
Represented,
because Shinobar is a very important character, I would say, in the overall story.
Yes.
First battle. Oh, okay. Are we getting backstory?
Oh, Phos's
first battle.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, awesome. Oh. This is a frenetic track.
Okay.
Wow. Oh, bad touch. Whoa. Everyone's coming.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. Whoa. Oh. Oh. Okay. Ha! Color me impressed, Doc. Just baka.
Oof.
Everyone? Wow.
Okay.
Dang. Okay. I don't. Whoa. Okay, good. They're bringing this up.
All right.
Memory wipes and all kinds of, you know, little things that they've lost over the years.
Hibernate?
Because there's no sunlight for a while?
Uh-huh.
That makes sense. Oh, was someone out there? Oh. Phos is out running. Oh. Okay.
Wow.
Oh. Yeah? Whoa! They're crazy fast!
Oh!
Oh my gosh!
Phos is really fast. Hopefully you guys don't.
Yeah, I'll
smash
break
into each other.
You asked for it. Whoa. Brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Very nice.
Yep. Okay. Whoa. Naruhodo. Ah!
Phos is so adorable.
I know. No, but you'd be good bait, though. But that... Member of the Honorable Diamonds!
Although they're both very fast.
Phos, I love you. Ooh. Ayy.
That is tiny.
That is very small. Needle.
Yeah. Wow.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And well, Phos just wants a purpose. That's the whole point.
Phos wants to help.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wait. That's new.
Oh. Oh,
Love.
yeah.
Love.
Yeah. That's the flesh aspect.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Okay.
See, the doctor can't even pretend.
Okay.
Phos is excited, just over the top aspect seems. Whoa. Yeah.
How much does Phos remember?
How much does Phos remember? Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
What if there will be new memories because of the agate?
Possible.
Whoa!
Holy crap. Wow.
Humans.
It's completely broken in half now.
Nice. Huh? Nani? Amethyst is one of the more mellow, slow ones. You can hear it in the voice. Let's. Oh, Soka. Whoa.
Okay.
Cool. 84. I was bringing up duplicates before, remember? May I request a transfer? But they brought up the whole idea of the two becoming one when it's hard to work as a trio. Bone, flesh, and spirit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Or flesh, bone, spirit. Oh my god, there's so many little things they're just giving us. It's,
But can we see more of Adamant in that whole human, thing?
Definitely later, but I don't think they're gonna go back to it for a while. Shinabar. Ah! Reme.
Wow.
This is amazing. Okay. Okay. Saying it out loud is probably just...
Uh-huh. All right.
Okay.
Phos can barely swing it.
Right. I love their voices being so in sync, and Phos just freaking out at every single little exclamation of, "Ooh, what's that?" Wow. The very detailed explanation of the quack dog. Ah.
Phos is just thinking that any moment there's going to be an attack.
Right. Oh. Wait. Those plants are 2D for a bit there. Were they? They looked like a painting.
Yeah, so does this.
Hi.
Wow.
But it's change, Phos.
Mm-hmm. Ah.
So cool. Oh my gosh, here we
Time
go.
for practice. This is the real thing.
A proper sunspot, here we go.
Alright.
Whoa. And that's a proper Rorschach image as well.
Yeah. Are they usually this big?
I don't know, but I am a little worried.
Seems like it might be bigger than normal.
Okay, here we go, Phos. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh my god, this track. It's so good. Wow.
Okay. They're good.
Oh my god. So badass.
Wow.
Oh.
Oh.
Oh my god. What the hell? Hey, Phos, use those legs and run. Yeah. Oh.
Were the Lunarians drawn here because of Phos?
Oh, Borts. Whoa. Wow. Recovery time, time. Grab as much as you can. Master's here. Oh. Wow. Okay. Okay.
Whoa.
Okay. Okay.
Huh.
So, my initial thought is that you're right on some level because Phos encountered the Lunarians with ventricosis and aculeatus, is that if we assume they have some sort of hive mind because they're representative of the spirit, you know?
Yeah.
Phos is now known as a survivor of their whole things there, but potentially also in league with the flesh, the Admirabilis. Right. So they sent a really powerful one here.
Yeah.
And it seemingly got... Is this new? Is this ED new? No.
I'm not sure.
It might be, though. The visuals, at least.
It does seem different.
But wow.
Yeah, this episode, okay.
There are so many things I want to talk about. No, it's
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, right. Everyone. Okay.
So there were a few things that happened this episode that were kind of a big deal. There was a lot of comedy, which was great. Phos was absolutely adorable, as usual. Phos is super fast now.
Phos is fast as boy, you know. Yeah, like just Phos tearing away through everything, and it's something that made Phos actually kind of scared because Phos like I don't know how to stop. Yeah. I just keep going places, but I can't choose when to slow down and stop. And I love the comedy of that, but also kind of the wholesome just emotion of that, of when you have a body that you don't like. Okay, when you go through puberty and you grow up, sometimes your body just does things that you're just like, I don't know how to make it stop. Why is this happening? And it's a perfect kind of coming of age aspect of the story in that Phos is freaking out about their newfound strength and speed.
Right.
And yet it's incompatible with the previous parts of Phos, right. You know, so finding a balance between that, but then having a cool friend like Yellow Diamond coming in and being like, hey, I'm your older sibling here. I got you.
And they brought up the memory.
Trust me.
They brought the memory loss thing up again with Yellow Diamond because
3,700 years old.
Yeah, and they don't remember why they're fighting, so that's interesting. But then also the whole thing with Phos not remembering what happened in the ocean and Adamant,
but still remembering
the word humans. And Adamant like okay, that was excellently done in how they showed Adamant's response, because it was very clearly that it was just like a slight
flinch,
like a slight flinch,
right?
That was enough to shatter the table. So right. It was I loved how they continue to build up Adamant as a badass ancient being of some kind,
right?
That very much like is calm and collected most of the time, but then showing just what a flinch does, you know, it's a great way to build them up. And then later the table was completely smashed in half. So whether that was something where it just fell in half because it had already been broken, or whether Adamant maybe
released some frustration into the table.
More frustration. And then what exactly, what are the reasons for all that frustration? Like, how much does Adamant know? What is his stance on everything? And like, is it something where he's trying to keep the information hidden, or it's just like, oh crap, that's like he actually thinks it's dangerous or something like that? Or you know, like
here's a way to look at it that I think makes a lot of sense for Adamant, regardless of whether or not Adamant has a desire to keep the information from the rest of the gems, or has any kind of malicious intent, or is just like surprised by this. The important thing is that the gems don't have value attached to the word humans, whereas Adamant does. Yeah. If you think about that logically, the main thing that you can deduce is that Adamant knows what a human is,
right?
Or knows that the word humans is so important. Is so important that for Phos to just casually drop it, this is something that I could imagine being something where it actually shows how little Adamant knows. Because here's something,
and that's why he's kind of afraid of it, maybe.
Well, here's what I think it is that Adamant knows the origins of the gems in some ways.
Sure.
And knows about the past existence of humans. He knows about the history. But the idea that Phos went out into the ocean, into the unknown.
Right.
An area that he has no dominion over. And comes back broken, missing things.
Right.
That he'll never get back.
Right.
That he had the desire to find out about because he asked for the report, right?
Right.
And Rutil, I believe is the doctor's name, was covering for Phos, saying like, hey, Master, Phos lost about 30% of their mass, so there might be some memory loss.
Gone. Yeah.
But Phos remembers humans, and it's something that makes Adamant go, wait. So Adamant, I think his reaction to things in the future is going to be more important than just what this means here. Because if Adamant then goes, I'm going to do more of that meditation thing,
right?
Or maybe we should look at the ocean a little bit more.
Sure.
Because what it means, I think, is that if it's the ocean becomes a point of interest for Adamant, that means that Adamant is going, wait, so Phos encountered something important.
Right.
Because it's tied to our history. We need to explore that and figure that out.
Yeah.
If it's something where Adamant doubles down on the
meditation,
away from the ocean.
Oh, gotcha.
Nothing going to the ocean and stuff. There's potentially some problems there.
Right, then that's more of a thing of him intentionally hiding something.
Right.
As opposed to just, okay.
Exactly. If he doubles down on the meditation, we now know that he uses the meditation not for actual what you use meditation for normally in, our world, but he's using it for information gathering.
Right.
Or for the purpose of communication.
Right.
Those are basically the same thing in my book.
Yeah.
But information gathering via the meditation bit seems to be his current only thing that is unexplained really at this point. We know that he does it, but we don't know why he does it. But I would assume the main reason is for gathering information.
Right, and then the question is he gathering it from,
the universe,
or is he gathering it from other,
like
people?
The Lunarians or the Admirabilis?
Yeah. Then there was also the whole bit with Phos, saying that their reason for wanting to fight was because they loved Adamant and wanted to help.
Yeah. Love. Love. This is a word that does not come into their vocabulary.
Yep.
Vocabulary.
And they laughed at Phos. They were like, oh.
Well, no, they were. At first they were spellbound.
Right.
Just like transfixed completely.
Yeah.
Just.
And I'm not sure whether that was like shock at seeing something like wholly alien, or like there's something about that seems like it resonates with us on some level and we don't know why. Or if, they were terrified and then they just laugh it off as like, oh yeah, Phos.
Right. My initial conclusion is that whenever someone says something that is kind of off with the gems and Rutil is in the scene, I always look at them first. The Doctor is the only one, I believe, that has potential Adamant level information and is not saying anything about it. And Rutil didn't laugh it off.
Oh.
Whereas Yellow Diamond did.
Right.
And that is very pointed, I believe.
Sure.
One, because obviously they all have different personalities, and yet Yellow Diamond being the oldest and the one that explicitly talked about having a kind of a spotty memory with regards to why we're doing all this.
And also saying that specifically, you sound like all of the other gems that I've been with that all ended up getting taken by the Lunarians. So is it something where maybe, like if they did want to do the whole Adamant being evil thing, they could do something where it's like, okay, eventually there were cases where in extenuating circumstances over 4,000 years, gems were bonded with flesh, right? And then suddenly this other aspect of them started coming into play, and then maybe nope, can't have that, and they end up getting destroyed and taken away. Who knows?
Yeah, there's definitely with the knowledge that this has been going on for thousands and thousands of years, it shows that very little has changed, I would say, in regards to the status quo.
Sure.
Adamant is older than all of that, obviously. But one of the things that I would say is curious, though, is that if you assume that Adamant has perfect memory, which I think is logical to assume.
Like, because, at least after a fashion. Well, because maybe that's what the meditation's for.
Possibly. But if Adamant is a gem like them, right, then Adamant's main reason why he wouldn't have any issues with memory is because he's the hardest. He's never broken.
And that could also explain why he is constantly in reserve. In that sense, he's the last, repository of knowledge for them, potentially. Then, assuming he is a gem, then you don't want him to get damaged.
Well, that's the thing. Could he?
Right, exactly.
I'm assuming he could on some level.
But but I mean,
just like any of the strongest diamonds could get damaged theoretically.
Right. But the thing is it seemed like he's maybe something other than a gem. So if that's the case,
Okay, so there's some other things that were happening this episode that were a little bit interesting that brought up earlier discussion topics that I had, and one was the idea of duplicates. And in this episode, we are introduced to the Amethyst twins.
Oh,
And not only are they duplicates, they are vastly different numbers of duplicates, implying that there were plenty of other amethysts in between the two of them. One was like Amethyst 33, and the other was like Amethyst 86 or something like that.
Some
ridiculously large gap in their numbers, which... Why would they make a point of using those numbers if there wasn't an Amethyst 34, 35, 36, 37, so on and so forth?
The one thing that I could potentially see it being is, and I don't know anything about sciencey stuff, so, this might be completely stupid what I'm about to say here. But the whole aspect, it wasn't just that they were both amethysts, but they were also, it was said that they were twins. Now, it could just be that they're twins because they're both amethysts,
Sure.
But I wonder if it has something to do with the number, and that basically it's like a scientific differentiation between kinds of amethysts, and that they're two simpatico, kinds of amethysts.
I'm not going to immediately reject that because I don't know anything about the science of this whole thing.
But if it's not, assuming it's not that, then that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. Here's where my discussion went towards this in the past, basically. They had this whole idea with the inclusions, right? Which the inclusions are kind of the rule breakers, in my opinion, of the whole flesh, bone, and spirit thing. Because they're the part of the bone, essentially, that is the soul part, if you will.
Okay.
Now, here's the thing about these inclusions that I find to be a bit curious, is that they have how there's a Mohs scale with showing their hardness in the little transition cards, which I love that. It seems like there's also some form of a inclusion compatibility rating, some kind of thing that they keep kind of alluding to, where the inclusions they require certain parameters and environmental things to be set up in order for them to integrate properly. And that's what the whole doctor is for, to make sure that the inclusions just reconnect and everything well after there's been a breaking.
Okay.
So you have Amethyst.
Right.
Amethyst 1 and 2, I'm calling them for now. I don't remember the numbers. But the point is that they have one mind, one accord. You forget which is which. There is no real separation in their response, their motion. Right. They are entirely in sync. So here's the part that's a little bit interesting here. They had a lot of imagery with the amethysts, showcasing not just that they are, of one mind and one body, one soul, even. But they brought up the whole idea of relationships with their verbiage. When they were first introduced, they brought up the whole idea of, a trio. It's hard for a trio to bond properly. We have the whole trio in the world building of flesh, bone, and spirit, and how, we're different, so it's hard for us to...
Right.
But now we have a picture of what a duo becoming one would look like. Which is kind of the
the amethyst.
In the
amethyst. Saying Phos.
No. I understand what you're saying. Phos is Phos is right now the agate part isn't a half. it's less than a half, so
it's a third. Yeah,
it's a third, exactly. Yeah. Right.
But it's having an effect. But
it is a two becoming one in that respect. I would say the Amethyst twins are a more perfect picture of that.
Well, but at the same time, then the Amethyst, it almost seems like it's just that it's one entity inhabiting two bodies.
But that's the thing; it can't be, because the inclusions are physically located in the gems' bodies themselves. So are the inclusions now linked via some kind of...
I don't think they're linked, but so because it's based on the actual physical, gem parts that make up each body, right? Uh-huh. But that's probably the reason why they have the amethysts always travel together and stuff, is because even though they're two separate bodies, then essentially it's kind of the same memories. Like, I get the feeling that they could take, if say like they only were able to recover like half of the total gems from the amethysts, that they could build a singular amethyst out of them, and it wouldn't have to be the gems from a specific amethyst or whatever, right? They wouldn't have to worry about that. Right. Just put them back together and it would be just fine. There wouldn't be some multiple personality disorder thing or whatever. It would be, a smooth transition.
But because there's so much of a synergy between the two that have, and this is our first time seeing duplicates, why don't we have any more? Why don't we have any more duplicates?
Right. Because it's not like they're following the general rules of just like the rarity of the gems, because otherwise, like, why are there so many diamonds, But so yeah, because the whole idea of the gems coming out of the ocean and everything, it's like, okay, cool, awesome. I suppose there could have just been more amethysts than the others, or I don't know. Yeah.
All I'm gonna say is that I have been basically like expecting this to have to be brought up as a plot point, not necessarily actually having characters that are duplicates, but with the idea of physical bodies having these minor, this world only, like there's no connection to our world for inclusions. We have no scientific scientific connection to them. So basically they are, in my opinion, the microbe, non-physical things that they don't fully understand, but they work. And one of the things that we're seeing a breaking of the rules in here is it seems like the inclusions in one body are connected to another body because they're of the same material. That is my base assumption.
So then if that happens, would it be possible for, like, say, a separate Phos to be built, I don't know, by the Lunarians or something like that? Like, I would not be surprised, like, because, the Lunarians keep collecting the gems. Why? What do they do with them, right? And there was this whole idea with Ventricosus, or was it Aculeatus, where basically of spending time with the Lunarians, in their home world dimension space, wherever it is,
the other moons,
right?
The moons, basically.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's kind of bizarre. And like, Phos lost a third of their body, right? Who's to say that third of their body couldn't be, repaired into a separate Phos?
Right.
Like,
what I'm leading towards here in my thoughts is that if you have some kind of synergy between the two materials like this, there's this subliminal communication type synergy thing that's going on here.
Okay.
And it seems really convenient that there's no excess materials of all the other gems out there to not make duplicates, right?
Right.
So my thought is, my thoughts are, Adamant is incorporating the excess materials as they are up to the surface, and once there's enough to make another one, he does it.
Okay, sure.
But if he doesn't, he's using it for the purpose of studying these inclusions via the meditation thing.
Okay.
And if the meditation thing is that, what was the one thing we saw in the meditation? Was Lunarian.
Well, and here's another thing. If Adamant does have excess materials, and it's something where it's like, hey, I'm saving this until there's enough to build another one of a particular type of gem, That also means that anytime they get repaired, could theoretically have Dr. Quack replace certain fragments with ones that don't have troublesome memories. And the gems would never know, because as soon as it fragments off them, they don't realize that there's a memory that they're missing, right?
Yep.
So then you just put something else in there, and then there you go. And if you keep the fragments separate, they're basically just a bunch of blanks, and that could be how the memory wipes actually happen without the gems being aware of it.
And in some ways, the Doctor kind of doesn't need to know everything about that whole situation, because the actual benefits of having, the repaired, aspect there being important is just
a way that they could try and do it if they didn't want to make Adamant overtly evil is that he's basically saying, okay, there's dangerous stuff out there. I'm keeping you guys safe by making you guys be in the dark, y'all in the dark, right? And then he takes the fragments that maybe have the troublesome memories and then studies them and meditates and does all that stuff to basically harvest the information himself, so that it's, if it's something where he doesn't fully understand it, without unveiling things that would cause them to maybe do things that are kind of stupid, like going into the ocean or whatever.
And that's why they're all basically of one accord, because I would say
they've been doing this for thousands of years. Like, that's kind of ridiculous to think about.
And even on some level, it does seem like something where if you had this limitless fount of memories being accessible to you through these shattered pieces of gems and the inclusions inside them, you'd be meditating on memories for thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So, I mean, it sounds pretty simple, Jacob, but I think the main reason why the Lunarians then are trying to acquire the gems and harvest them is primarily just to find a way to actually communicate then. It's just like, if you think about two species encountering each other and we have both of them having intelligence, right? I would say this to be the same thing as if a ship approaches an island and finds another group of humans there. The humans have a completely different language, culture, and all this stuff. I mean, assuming good intent from the humans in the ship.
I mean, you could just try and just destroy them, subjugate, and whatnot.
Which might be what's going on here with the Lunarians. Exactly. But another way to look at it is, okay, think of it like aliens. Aliens go to Earth and they're like, there's all these crazy humans here. We need to find a way to at least study them and get people to understand how they work, so that we can establish a base communication. And what better way than to grab one, mess with it and stuff, be able to then communicate with it. But if you have one that's like perfectly, linked to another one there, then you could stop that whole And theoretically, I think my theories are getting dumb now, but
I mean, maybe, but I mean, we'll have to wait more and see. But the Lunarians could also be doing the thing where they rebuild the gems bit by bit, leaving out memories that they don't like, so that way the gems are on the side of the Lunarians potentially. I don't know if how they would benefit from that necessarily, unless they want to do some kind of covert op, but that wouldn't work very well.
Yeah, they haven't done that in 4,000 years, as far as we know. So. Yeah, I would say it's more of a study thing rather than a insert kind of.
But we still need to see.
Subterfuge
thing.
To
find out.
But yeah, I'm very interested in all that. I'm also very interested in the idea of Phos's agate parts influencing a bit of Phos's not only decision but perception on the world. Yeah, with the whole thing of love. I'm excited for that.
That and the whole mystery of what Adamant knows, those are probably the two things that I'm most excited to see more of. And then, other than just in general watching Phos be adorable.
Yeah, there were some really funny moments with Amethyst and Phos. Just Phos in general.
Just moments where nothing really was happening in the scene other than Phos just doing something, something really minor. But it was so entertaining to watch.
Oh yeah. So y'all This show, it's just taken us for a ride, and now we've had a crazy twist with a new type of Lunarian showing up, absolutely decimating the Amethyst twins. I loved that shot of them holding hands in their last little bit that they have that's still remaining. It's solid. But then Adamant shows up
and like Rainbow Cloud obliterates the thing, and
but it seemed like Adamant utilized gems for the purpose of casting the spell in the same way that a caster would need a
like component. Diamonds worth 500 gold pieces or something like that.
So
that's kind of that'll also need to be maybe explained. And Phos is potentially in a bad situation because Bortz thinks Phos had something to do with this, other than maybe it might just be though that Phos didn't really fight.
I think it's more that Phos was absolutely useless in the encounter.
That does seem like a very Bortz thing.
The first patrol or the second patrol that Phos went on, they end up losing horribly. And there is this, like, think about it from their perspective. Phos went out into the ocean, has weird encounters in some way, comes back totally fine, but shattered, essentially, with these agate
maybe they suspect Phos as being...
not one of them anymore.
Potentially. I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see.
Yeah, the suspicious ones, I'm sure, will start to look at Phos a little bit more like, I'm watching you.
And Bortz is very suspicious.
Bortz is the one that carries the weight of this island's defenses on their backs, so it makes sense. So y'all, all right, if you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion to this crazy awesome show, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. Any level of support gets you access to our Discord, where you can chat with us about stories or just hang out in general and chat about whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.